All right, everybody, welcome to episode 5 of Conversation with a Cancer. I am your Cancer, and today I have another wonderful guest, a woman that I've met and known, I think 3 or 4 years now. She is
I think
someone,
something like that.
something like that, yes. Someone I met out of nowhere, and we end up hitting it off, and we became friends. And she's someone that I definitely admire, and I love getting to know, speaking to. And she's very wise, and she's very driven. Another strong Black woman, and she has a love for sweets as much as I do. Not as much as I do, but she loves a good cupcake. Everybody say hello to Paris. Paris, say hello.
Hello, hello. Hey, everybody. Thanks for having me, Rob. I
Oh no,
appreciate that.
no problem. I couldn't wait to get you on here because I haven't seen you since Tupac died. So I
That's
was
not true. I seen you in May of this year. I mean, granted, that was 5 or 6 months ago,
right.
but we've seen each other. So,
Yes, yes.
yeah.
Yes, you are a busy woman though. You know
Am
that,
I?
right? Yes, yes, you are.
Dude, you just told me that you work 2 jobs and you're um gonna start a franchise and you do a podcast. So essentially, you're as busy as I am.
I mean, when you break it down like that, you might be right. I can't even
Yeah,
question that. I can't
yeah,
even
touche.
question that. Touche, right. So, right off the back, how are you today?
Actually, you know what? Today I feel well. I feel really good actually. I make it a point to take things one day at a time. So if we're speaking on right now in this moment at this time, I feel good.
That's good. That's good. So, 2020's been a very rough and challenging year for everyone with the pandemic. So, how are you dealing with the pandemic?
2020 has been trying, and professionally, I think it's probably stretched me more than any other year. I'm in education, specifically or namely urban education. And sometimes it's a challenge to get my students to stay on task. So incorporating online and distance learning, it's been quite an uphill battle. In addition to that, like having oversight over teachers and managing them and keeping them encouraged and reselling that dreams every day, like literally even on the weekends. It has been challenging, but I'm confident that it's gonna end soon, right? We have this vaccine that I personally am going to take. But hopefully, we are close to wrapping things up. But that's professionally. Personally, I feel really, really blessed because there's a lot of individuals around me who are professionally displaced or they can't pay their bills or what have you. And I know what it's like to be laid off abruptly. So I am very, very thankful. I am very grateful that I'm still gainfully employed and that God continues to make a way for me. Um, so yeah, personally, I am really in a good headspace. My family as well. My family is healthy. Professionally, I'm being stretched, but I would imagine that I'll be able to use these skills for something in the future. So it's all good. It's all good.
Okay. So, you said you are going to take the vaccine. Is that because your job requires it, or you personally want to take the vaccine?
My job does not require it, and if they do, they have not communicated it to me. I personally would like to take the vaccine. I believe in science. I believe in science wholeheartedly. I think it's important to let scientists do their job, do their thing. So, at one point in time, we had polio and measles and a host of other diseases or plagues or pandemics that have been eradicated through the great work of scientists. And I think the notable difference is that we're just living through this pandemic, whereas in the past, the vaccine came much, much, much later. So, yes, I know that there's a lot of talk or discussion or debate around the vaccine. Certainly not interested in debating anyone. I respect their stance. But when I'm green lighted to take my vaccine, I most certainly will be getting it. I'm one of those individuals who get the flu shot and all that jazz. So I'm here for preventative medicine, anything that could possibly keep me well or healthy. I'm, I'm here for it. So yes. sign
I,
me up. I'm ready.
I respect that. I'm not a person who's in any rush to take the vaccine. I would take
Yeah,
it if it's necessary for me, but I won't frown on anyone who wants to take it. I just don't want them to force it on kids. Like your kid can't have it if they don't come to school. I don't want them to force it on kids. That's what I don't want.
yeah, yeah,
But outside of that, I don't see anything wrong with taking a vaccine. I'm just not a pro-vaccine person, but I'm not someone
yeah.
who be like, "Oh, you take a vaccine, you're a horrible person." I don't think like that.
Right,
So,
right.
but so I like to ask people who come on here how we met. Now, I remember how we met, but I
Okay.
want to know from your perspective, what do you remember how we met?
Um, it was a few years back, and we were at a game night. I believe it to be around this time, maybe either around Thanksgiving or Christmas, but we were at a game night with some mutual friends, and we were talking about music, and somehow um, you realize that, I had a good ear for music
Mm,
and that you should probably follow my lead. I'm being
mm.
facetious here. I'm being facetious here, that you should probably follow my lead and listen to all the artists that I suggest, because you were like, oh my God, I've never met someone who knows music as well as Paris, so let me get to know her. Joking, but no, seriously, we were at a game night, mutual friends, had a few things in common, and we've kept in touch ever since. And I think that that's been approximately 2 to 3 years, as you stated.
I think so. I think it was. I think it was in January.
Oh, was it? Okay, I thought it was around, like, it was cold outside,
It was
so I
cold.
don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. So January is fine. I don't know. I thought it was. You're right. I don't know. I have
It
no
might
idea.
have
I just
been.
know it was extremely cold.
I mean, it might have been, but I remember we were playing cards, and I thought you had slipped an ace up your sleeve, so I had called you out on it. And I was like, "Oh man!" But we did talk about music, and I was impressed with your ability to name different artists that nobody else in the room was naming that I actually was listening to currently. And I was like, "Oh snaps! Okay,
Hmm,
she got an
hmm.
ear for these type of things." So
Yeah.
it has been a couple of years. You were there with your friend Jamie, right?
Yep, yep.
Oh, okay.
Good. You have a good memory. In fact, I just got off the phone with this Jamie. So yeah.
She doing
I was
she
there
doing
with
okay?
Jamie. Jamie's doing well. Jamie is extremely nomadic. She just moved back from Indonesia. So I think that, yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, but that's because she's extremely nomadic.
Wow.
But yeah, she just moved back from Indonesia, and I think she's kind of staying here until quarantine and the pandemic is resolved. And I think she has plans to kind of move to Canada for a while or what have you. She kind of just do her thing in different, countries, how she be doing her thing. So,
The,
it's cool because I always have a place to visit.
she has a child.
No, no children, no children. She hasn't
Oh,
been married, so she's footloose and free. So
oh, nice.
certainly is the time to take advantage of it. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. So one thing I know about you is that you are very driven, and part of your drive is to want to do things the way you like to do them in a space that you're comfortable with. So you have a business, and I don't know if it's thriving because we haven't talked about it in a while. But last time we talked, you were getting things done there, and then I don't know how the pandemic has affected your business, but that's something I
Yeah.
know about you. So kind of just talk about how you decided you wanted to start a business. When did you know you wanted to start a business?
I think I probably started my first business at like the age of 10 or 12. I
Mm,
was making bracelets for family and charging them an astronomical price, and they were paying for it because they were my blood relatives. Then, learned a little bit more about pricing and scaling. But all my life, I think that I've wanted to be a business owner. My parents, my dad has recently transitioned, but he was very entrepreneurial. He was one of the best car salesmen that, the city of Cleveland had ever seen. And, he did some amazing, amazing things. And my mom, for the last, I don't know, maybe 25 to 30 years, she's owned different ventures from um, daycare, transportation companies, clothing boutiques. real estate, you name it, she does it. But I come from a very entrepreneurial family, so you can't be raised in a household and that kind of thing, that kind of stuff doesn't rub off. So yes, I have a business. I had a few rental properties. I'm down to my last door. I'm aggressively trying to get out of the business. It just no longer serves me. It no longer fits me. It's not in line with my goals. So prayerfully, hopefully, 2021, someone comes and buys this last property that I have, and so landlord will no longer be a part of my business arsenal. I'm looking to get away from that. But what I am very passionate about, my full time job is an administrator or a principal, perhaps. But my business of my own is that I have something that's called the Casement Studio, and it's a studio. And the purpose of it was that I wanted a place that Black people could go and make memories. I wanted something that was really nice. I didn't want them to have to worry about decorating. Think of it as like a very large, or I shouldn't say very, but a large living room. Like, you just call up your friends and you have a place to meet. It's beautiful. I'd like to think that I'm an interior decorator and I have style. And you know, I opened my doors in January, so January, February, March. I think I had some momentum. Unfortunately, the pandemic came and wreaked havoc, and it's been a struggle. In the summertime, people were coming out, but it's been a struggle, to keep things afloat. But it's my prayer that again, we'll wrap this up and I'll see an uptick in business because I absolutely love it. I think that the private room is beautiful. And I want people to be able to go somewhere and make memories with their friends and their loved ones. That's very important to me. So
Yeah, yeah.
that's how that thing came about.
I like the idea of what you created there because I always thought like that was a dope idea. And when you at first told me about it, I didn't see what you were saying. Like I was just like, oh, okay, sure. You're just gonna have people come speak and people are gonna want to see a specific speaker. And I was like, they do that everywhere, but the more frequent that you kept asking me to promote, help you promote, I was like, man, this must be doing good. Then I start seeing pictures. I'm like, oh, this is really, because every time you had one, I had to work, so I couldn't come.
Mhm.
So, but I was like, oh, this is dope. So when we get done with the podcast, I'm gonna talk to you about some coming there and doing my own business in your studio because I got ideas, and why not just bring it to your studio than going to find some other studio. But we'll talk about that
I,
off the air.
I appreciate that. But yeah, so in the early stages, I was kind of hosting events there on my own, like a vision board party, and I did a dating forum, just hosting things there on my own just to get the word out. But I certainly didn't create it to become an event planner. But if I want to throw an event, because I love getting my friends and family together too, I have a multi-purpose room or studio that I could do that. But some of the things that it's been used for are photo shoots, podcasts, baby showers, gender reveals. Like it is multi-purpose. So it is a private room or a boutique studio, and you can kind of use it for whatever it is you see fit. Most recently this summer, someone turned it into a comedy club. They paid a comedian and they invited their friends in, and he performed for them. So it truly is a multi-purpose room. You can use it for whatever it is you see fit.
Wonderful. That's beautiful. You're doing big business. When you
Ah,
got when you got
trying.
when you got 10 of them, don't forget about me.
I will not.
so
I will not.
so I'm going to transition you into something different. So the purpose of this podcast is because I'm trying to learn why women tell me I'm such a cancer. And I just want to know what your experience have been with a cancer man, or if not even a man, or any women that have been cancer that you can think about that you was like, oh man, that kind of fits the description. And if you don't have one, you don't have one.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So I'm not really, I'd like to learn more about astrology and horoscopes or what have you. Um, but I'm certainly a novice when it comes to that, and I would hate to speak prematurely or without being fully informed. I don't when are the birthdays of cancers? Like that's how much I truly don't like I barely know what they say about my horoscope, and I'm a Taurus. They just always told me that I'm bullheaded. But what is it that they say about Cancer men?
So, from my understanding, what I'm learning, because if you think you're a novice, I'm beyond a novice. But it's June 22nd to July 22nd. Um, so, for what I understand is we're sensitive, we're very loving, we care more about our relationships with people, and something else, but I can't remember. But I'm learning too, so I try to make sure I get an understanding from everyone. But I'm still a novice pace. I'm still at that where I don't completely understand, but I have an idea of what people are trying to explain to me, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. I guess I can see in some of the characteristics that you mentioned, especially like the one about loving or caring, appreciating relationships. I certainly can see that in you. But having experience with a Cancer man, I can't say that I have. Having experience with like being in friendship with a Cancer woman, I don't think any of my friends' birthday fall within that time period or that window. So I'm sorry, I'm not prepared to speak as it relates to that particular zodiac sign.
So are you saying are you a Cancer in your life?
I, you know, I just speaking really quickly, I would probably have to say, yeah. Like I have some Gemini friends, some Aries friends, a Capricorn and a Sagittarius, but I don't really have much time on task with Cancer.
Okay, understandable, understandable. That's all right. So another thing that I like about you, actually I really love about you because you get to travel way more than me. Like you said, how Jamie is nomadic, she can just up and go. You are like that too. And I remember one day I just happened to be on Twitter like late at night, and I see one of your tweets, and it says, "Oh, I'm just out here minding my business at the vineyard." I'm like,
Oh,
I'm like, what? What? You in You in Seattle? You in California? Where were you? What vineyard were you at?
I was in Napa Valley.
Wow.
Yeah, so the world had slowed down, right? But
Hmm.
I see no reason for my travels to slow. Like as long as I protected myself in terms of like wearing the proper PPE and washing my hands and socially distancing, I wasn't quite ready to just pull the plug on travel. So I think in like June or July, I came up with the fact that like every month for the rest of the year, I'm traveling. So in
Nice.
August, I did a hike in Utah. In September, I went to Napa Valley in California. Um, in October, I went to Seattle because I hadn't been to Seattle in about 20 years. And I just had the time of my life, like just overly indulging in food and wine and sightseeing and doing all the cool things. And then I, November, I shot out to Pennsylvania because I wanted to go to the Warhol Museum, and that's been on my bucket list for some time. But I'm always in someone else's country or someone else. I was just like, let me make it a point to get to PA, and then next week I'll be leaving for Mexico. So I told myself that flights were cheap. There were so many deals. I kind of wanted to save my money and opposed to buying things, just kind of like make more memories or have experiences. So yes, I love to travel, and I know that you were curious as to how many continents I've been to,
Correct.
and if you include ours, four of the seven, but if you do not include North America, then just three. I've traveled to Ghana, Africa. I've traveled to Europe, which the countries within that continent, Croatia, the United Kingdom, France. I may be missing one. Oh, Croatia, Bosnia. So Bosnia, Croatia, France, the UK. And then I've been Asia. So that's the third continent that I've been to. And specifically, when I was in Asia, I had visited Dubai and Abu Dhabi.
Mm.
Yeah. So my favorite place, and my favorite place is France. So, my name is Paris, cliche. But you can't grow up with a name like Paris and not research everything there is on France and specifically Paris. So I have the time of my life in Paris. If you know me, I love, love, love food. I really like wine and desserts, as you mentioned. And if that's what you're into, then you need to be in Paris. So you just need to be in France. If you want some wine, you want a dessert, like France started that, so that's where you need to be. And then history and art, like, those are my things that I just can't get enough of it. So everything that I need and everything that I want is in France. And I think my second favorite place that I've been is Croatia. It's just all types of beautiful, like naturally beautiful, like just naturally you wake up and it's just like I couldn't figure out or even comprehend why God took his time with Croatia. Like that's how beautiful it is. Like, and a lot of people don't talk about Croatia. A lot of people don't necessarily go. It's not, but it's probably the most beautiful place that I've ever seen in my life. And I recommend everyone go. I mean, just please, if you don't do anything else, just please go. The food is so great. The wine is so grand. The water, the views, the history, the site. I mean, I can go on and on and on, but you don't have time. But I've been to four of the seven of the continents. My goal is to get over to South America sooner than later. Um, I just have this bucket list. I have this bucket list of like 45 places that I need to get to, and I'm just crossing them off. I'm just crossing them off. Scheduled to go a few places next year, and looking forward to it. Like I just love to travel. And to spend time with the natives and learn about their culture and talk to them. Um, just when you think about the whole person and perspective, it just helps you raise your viewpoint. So I appreciate being able to travel.
Wow, that's a lot. But I would like to say that I've been nowhere to not, I haven't been to any of those places. But I definitely want to go to France. Like, and, I,
Yeah.
and I'm not a wine drinker. I don't like any wine. But someone gave me some wine. I can't remember, like maybe 2 months ago. But that was the
Okay.
first wine in my adult life that I had. It didn't make my stomach hurt or didn't give me a headache. And I don't remember who gave it to me, and I don't remember what it's called. But if I ever remember who gave it to me or what it's called, I will drink that wine. Other than that, I can't drink any wine. But
Okay.
but the food aspect, now I could eat enough for 3 people. But
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's just such an amazing experience. You
mhm.
know, it's such a France is truly an amazing experience. Like the art is breathtaking. Like just being in Europe, like those cobblestone streets, the desserts, the views, the history. Just being a kid and going back to all the things that we learned in history and actually being on the streets of Europe and like realizing or taking it all in. It's just it was one of my favorite places. I certainly have to spend more time in Africa. Certainly I need to hop around in more 10 or 12 more countries in Africa. But with a name like Paris, I'm obsessed with France. So that's that on that.
I mean, I guess we will all think when certain people are named after like objects or countries or cars that they have some type of knowledge of that. So that makes a little bit of sense with that.
Mhm.
The country that I want to go to the most is Spain. I mean,
Oh
I
yeah.
I would love to go to Spain.
Oh yeah.
Because when I was in
Oh
Puerto
yeah.
Rico, I thought that was the most beautiful place that I've seen.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
I know Spain and Brazil are 2 places I really want to go. I'm more pro Spain and pro Brazil. Like I'm not in a hurry to get to Brazil, but I'm in a hurry to get to Spain. Like I know I'm going to
Yeah.
Colorado next year, but I don't know. I haven't sat down and planned it. I'll see where I want to go when I get to Spain and where I would stay,
Hmm.
but that's something I want to see because
Yeah, so I certainly want to go to Spain as well, right?
right.
I want to go for the Bulls run.
Mm,
So yeah, I that's when I want to go. Like I really want to go for the Bulls run. But I mean, again, like there's so many places on my bucket list that I hope to get to sooner than later. You mentioned Colorado, and I plan on going there in Costa Rica next year. Um, the bucket list is full. Like, please believe me.
right. I saw some
But
pictures of Costa Rica the other day, and I was like, this is a place I really want to see also. Like, that place looked like it has so much rich history and culture and foods and just, from the optics, the people look like they're having a good time. But, people who
yeah,
live there, they don't really see it how we see it. But that's a place I want to go. I saw a picture of some beach out there, and I'm like, listen, we don't have water like that. We by Lake Erie. We don't got that here. So I'm not a big beach person, but if I'm in a country like that, I'm on that beach. I'm in there.
yeah,
I'm walking around.
yeah, most certainly. Like, I was in Puerto Rico and I enjoyed it. I've been in Puerto Rico twice, and I'm always in awe that Puerto Rico is a part of our country, because it is just everything that people say that it is, right?
Yes.
So Puerto Rico, like if I had money to blow, I most certainly would want like a summer home or something like that in Puerto Rico. Um, or if not there somewhere, I hope that life gives me the opportunity to purchase a small cottage by some water so I can take my tea and my wine and my books and just completely decompress. Um, but yeah, traveling is totally my thing. If I had more money, I would travel more. So perhaps maybe next year, I'll work on scaling my business so I can travel more and give back more. Um, as much as I travel, I try to support organizations that uplift people that look like you and I so that they can do some of the same things that, you and I are doing. So um, traveling is very, very important, but pulling up people and getting the younger folks in place so they could possibly succeed you and I is probably more important.
Yeah, I think I was just telling someone yesterday that we don't all have the same ideas when it comes to how we want the next generation or what Black people should be getting as a whole. And I think like when one person does something great, we don't give it enough support. We be like, oh, that don't have nothing to do with me. I'm not making no money from it. So why do I care? But I think like that's something people need to start doing because I know a lot of people think, well, if it's a Black owned, it should be cheaper. And that's not true. Like people think like you Black, it gotta be $5 to get into your spot. No, it doesn't. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't want to pay $80 for a sweater if it's made by a white man or a Black man, but you know what I'm
Right.
saying? But at
Right.
the same time, if I really want
Right.
that sweater, I'm gonna have to pay that 80 or I'm gonna try to catch it on sale, but it might not be in my
Yeah.
size. But I think that's something I want to do. And it's only gonna start for me doing different things. Like I'm hoping in next year, all I do once I get out of my sanitation job, all I do is sports, podcasts, and writing. That's all I want to do. But in order for me to do that, I have to keep grinding, doing other things that I don't want to do to get to that point because I was inspired when you opened your own and I'm like, man, like I just met you and you already like of course I don't know you your whole life, but it just seemed like it happened so fast from the time I met you until the time that you told me like, yeah, I'm gonna look at this commercial space and I'm like, we ain't never talked about that before. And then you was like, yeah, I got my keys. I'm like, dang, like, but
Well, yeah.
I had never asked you about it. You just told me about it as you were going through it.
Mhm.
So it seemed like it went quick to me. So I'm like, I just started brainstorming, like, man, like it just sounded like you made a plan, you put your plan to action and you executed. And I'm sitting
And,
here thinking about how can I get to a position like that when you
and
told me about it.
And I think that that's one of the things that I'm good at is being disciplined. Well, okay, well, I'm totally disciplined until it comes to some food, and that's when all discipline goes out the window, right? So
Absolutely.
I most certainly need someone to help me, curb that. But yeah, if I say that I'm going to do something, I pretty much do it, right? I Words matter. I try not to waste words. If I tell you I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And in the event that I don't, like, something mitigating has happened. um but yeah, I am very, very, very adamant about having a space, and right now it's small, right? My dream is that I can scale the business. My dream is that I'll have a venue that can hold 75 to 100, and then one day I can have a venue that holds 150 to 250, and my girlfriends are calling me and telling me they want to use my venue to get married. That is my long-term goal. um, that's my long-term goal. I don't know how right now I'm going to get there. I just know that if God continues to keep this goal or dream or vision in my heart, then I will be equipped with the tools and I'll figure out a way to make it happen one way or the other. So,
Yeah, so I had told you before we started recording that I'm trying to get into the ATM business, and like part of me getting into that business is doing the research. And so I'm looking at different companies, some rent, some lease, some buy, some do all encompass. But the one thing that was the most important to me was some places only let you buy when you have a location, so they can ship the ATM to that location
mhm,
and send a technician out. And I was like, this is how business gets done. Because in my mind, I'm thinking like, well, what if they ship it here? How I'm gonna get it to the place? And
mhm.
then I've been brainstorming. So like I told you, I gave myself 6 months to figure out how to get my first ATM in one location and grow from there. And that's
Yeah.
my goal.
And I think that that's a good goal. It just, the power of one, you just got to get started. So, if that's certainly what you want to do, just make it happen. I don't know too much about ATMs, but I do at one point in time in my life, I owned vending machines. And there's some organizations that you'll have to pay a premium, but they'll place them for you. So I don't know if that's an opportunity with ATMs, but most certainly look into it, do the legwork or what have you, and I'm confident that you'll figure it out.
Yeah, I was going to do vending machines first, but when so my friend who has she just told me one day, she was like, "Yeah, you should try to get an ATM," and I laughed it off. But when I looked into it, it was just like, I can't believe all this knowledge was sitting right here and I never knew about it. Sometimes if no one around you is doing something, or you don't mindfully see something like, I want to know more about this, you don't really know. So it's not hard to get into. It's just it's hard to have the income to keep the ATM stock. But I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna figure
You
it out.
are certainly gonna figure it out one way or the other. You'll figure it out.
I'm definitely gonna figure it out. But so you said something that I wanted to go back and talk about. So
Hmm.
you said that you want to grow you want to scale your studio up. So what do you mean by, like, I guess I'm just asking, like, do you want to marry your friends, or you just want your friends to get married in your space?
I certainly am not an
Oh,
ordained
okay.
pastor, so
Oh,
no.
okay.
So I said I'd like to have a venue
Okay.
that people can use for weddings.
Okay.
So yeah, yeah, yeah. Hmm.
That's dope. That's dope. I'm about to
Yeah.
say, I didn't know you want to be a pastor now, but
No, I'm not interested.
I could dig that. So before we get to the next question, I have just a different question for you. So earlier we were talking about how our music taste, and we both have a very big love and affinity
Hmm.
and a passion for Sade's music. So can you
Hmm.
please tell me, what are you currently listening to? Like, what is Paris listening to these days? Because I know we share playlists sometimes, but like, what is something you want, if you want to listen to music today? What are you turning on?
I really can't. It really truly just depends on my mood, honestly. Sade is my favorite artist. That's no secret, right? So Sade is my favorite artist. I listen to a lot of Jill. I listen to a lot of Badu. Mary, I sang my life like something was going on with me when she dropped that album, and I probably was like 12 or something like that. But it kind of just depends on, what mood I'm in. But Jay-Z's always in rotation, Drake's always in rotation, Mary, Badu, Jill Scott. I have two friends who make music, Romero Mosley, and he's in California and he's a phenomenal producer. I listen to a lot of his stuff. I have a good friend here in Cleveland. His name is David Michael. He raps. I listen to his stuff. So, I mean, you name it. Janae Aku, I listen to her. That's my girl. She makes moody music, and sometimes I'll be in a moody mood. So yeah, I listen to a lot of things. It kind of just really depends.
Mm, mm, mm. We discussed this last time I was in your car. Like, I'm a Drake fan if he's rapping, but not if he's singing. I'm
I
cool with him
understand that.
singing.
I can understand that. Yeah, I'm not always in the mood to hear him sing.
Right.
But I love Drake. I love, 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 love. Like, I think that he's gifted, like
Mm.
really extremely gifted.
He's one of the best ever. Can't nobody
Yeah,
deny that.
yeah.
But lately, I've been listening to this artist called 1111. Have you ever heard of him?
Uh-uh.
I'm gonna have to send you his album. Like, I don't know how I discovered him, but it was just something I discovered, and I since I've discovered him last month, I must have listened to his album at least 15 times already. Like,
Okay.
I really like his album, and you're the reason I made an Erica Badu playlist because you were asking me about it. You was telling me about it one day, and I'm like, I haven't really listened to her in a while, so I made an Erica Badu playlist because of you. You were the sole
Sweet,
reason I made an Erica Badu playlist. But I'm gonna have to
sweet.
get you hip to 1111. But your ear is very particular. Like, you be like, yeah, I'm not really feeling this, and then,
I know. I know. I'm guilty. I'm guilty.
yeah. But you have turned me on to some artists that I haven't listened to before or even
Same,
heard of.
same here. So
So
I welcome the artists that you're gonna send over.
yeah, yeah. I can't remember that one group you sent me. I think Moonchild or Moon.
Moonchild. I know that
Moon.
you don't like them, but I
But I
think that
liked a couple of songs.
yeah, a couple of songs. But I remember you saying this is just too much Moonchild for me. But to me, like Moonchild just oozes like Saturday morning or Sunday morning. I just absolutely love. I love it. I love it.
Who else did you get me hip to? Xavier Omar.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
what was that
yes.
song you sent me?
Blind
Blind Man.
Man, probably.
I played that song
Yeah.
out. I ain't even gonna
I
cap.
love Blind Man. I like Sir a lot,
Mhm.
I love Sir. I don't know if he's based out of California, Inglewood, and it seemed like he is really getting on the map now. Alex Isley is one of my favorite artists too. Like that woman is hands down. She makes beautiful, beautiful music.
Yeah,
So
I only
yeah.
know about her because you sent her to me. But I saw Sir in concert. He opened up for Miguel when Miguel came a couple of years ago, and I was
Okay.
like, and I was watching it, and I'm like, I don't know who this is. And his last song was his single at the time. And I'm like, oh, I heard this before. So
Yep. Hmm.
I'm kind of
Yeah.
upset with myself that I didn't pay more attention to him when he
Attention to
was on
him.
stage
Yeah.
because I didn't know those other songs. But
Yep.
he came out
Yeah.
with
He makes good music.
he does. He makes really good music. He makes mood music, as we say, but he's definitely in the pocket right now with what he's making. So I'm looking forward to his next project. But that's something I can't wait, and I hope in 2021 we can start going to concerts again. But
Yes.
I'm not sitting next to
Yes.
nobody. Y'all gotta figure out a way to make it social distance, like they do in England or whatever with the
Yeah, they
little.
do. They do a good job of that in England. And someone said on Twitter, like I'm a Twitter head. So someone said on Twitter, like, what do you miss most? Or like, what do you feel deprived of since the pandemic? And I said, international travel, live concerts, and wearing lipstick. I wear lipstick. That's my thing. I like lipstick. Um, One of my sorority sisters said, red lipstick is war paint. So it's like I wear lipstick, I be ready, and I feel deprived of the fact that I can't wear it. So
I've never seen you without lipstick.
because I don't not wear it. I know that that's not proper English, but I always have my lipstick on. So it's just like, look, like, they're going to have to either create some mask to protect our lipstick or I need my relief, as in my vaccine. But that's a whole nother story. Go
But
ahead.
I actually said I have a friend and she doesn't like wearing masks because it messes her makeup up. So I had
Hmm.
this lady created these different type of masks that doesn't go right over your mouth for women who likes the makeup.
Okay.
But I thought they was kind of funky looking. But I mean, if it works, it works. So
I'm open. Send me the
so
link.
All right, I got you. So when we get into 2021, and hopefully things are different, we're gonna have a new president, and the vaccine is out. Do you have any goals for 2021, or you just is it something you just plan on? Just I'm gonna just take it how it goes, see how it goes.
I have a lot of goals. Like my goals have goals, my plans have plans. Like
Hmm.
they're very nuanced. So we can certainly go down a rabbit hole here. But namely, I think that I kind of spoke to them earlier on. My goal is to make my business profitable,
Hmm.
so that I can scale. And when I say that, I'm saying I'm looking to expand to get a bigger venue. I want to be able to pack more people in. I want people to be able to do more with my space than, because we're limited now to space constraints. So that's one, being able to scale my business. I'd like to be in the best shape of my life. I was working out faithfully and religiously prior to the pandemic, and pandemic or excuses or what have you. Nonetheless, I've slowed down a bit. I did purchase a Peloton, but it's just something about the gym that I miss. So 2021, I want to be in the best shape of my life. I want some muscles. So I certainly want to, be in the best shape and just look like I work out. I don't know if that makes sense, but look like I work out, look like I like lift light weights or something like that. And then continue to travel and explore and learn. Um, but most importantly, I think the two most important things for 2021 is for my business to become profitable. But secondly, what I want to feel like or what I want to experience. Um, I'd like right now I'm at peace, and there's days that I wake up with so much joy in my heart, and I'm extremely grateful for this life that I get to live. So for 2021 and beyond, but I try to take it one day at a time. But for 2021, that's what I want to feel like. I want to be able to wake up and experience joy. Um, I want to I want to be like this individual. Like, I think there's this saying on social media, like, if such and such was a person. So if abundance and joy and gratitude was a person, I'd like to be the poster child for that. Those are some of
Mm.
the things that I want to experience: abundance, joy, and peace and gratitude. And I'd like to be able to stay rooted in that. I do understand trials and tribulations, but I like to be rooted in that. So for 2021, that's what I want to feel like. That's the state of mind that I want to be in. And I really, truly, truly want to continue to scale my business. So,
Those are all wonderful things. For me, I go to the gym 5 days a week. I don't like the missing no days going to the gym. So
hey, I
that's
feel
very.
you.
I was gonna buy a Peloton bike, but my sister has one of those like skinny women bikes, and she
Uh
wasn't using it. So I'm
huh.
like, well, let me just get that. I don't want to buy a bike, and you got a bike. Like,
Okay.
so I try to do 30 to 45 minutes, like on like Tuesdays and Thursdays on the bike. Um, I find that extremely difficult because I'm not a bike rider. So I had to
Me either.
no matter how much weight I can lift with my legs, being a bike rider is different. Like your hamstrings got to be loose, you got to be able to find the right height. And I'm like, I thought I could just get on here and ride it. And my first time I had to get off because I kept getting tightness in my hamstring. So bikes are a great source of exercise, but it's a lot of work to ride a bike.
Mhm. Mhm.
But
Mhm.
speaking of back on the goals, like I was talking to my therapist about my goals and whatnot, and one of the things my therapist taught me was just like you can't always want instant gratification or instant wins. You know what I'm saying? You have to just do what you can do, handle what you can handle with that, and then move on to the next one. So I started managing my goals like that. So my goals are really simple. I have three goals I would like to have in 2021: buy a house, um, do only the work that I want to do and be satisfied with that income, and do more traveling. Like those are my three things because I'm
Mhm.
not going to stop working out. I already eat the same things every day. I I'm currently going through. I told myself in the month of December I'm not going to eat any sweets. Every day I'm dying that I haven't had any sweets. Like I'm killing myself. I haven't had anything sweet. So January 1st is going to be very nasty. I'm going to probably put all that weight back on. But those are my goals. Like I think those are attainable goals, goals I can work towards, and also get an ATM. But that's not so much of a goal. That's just like an achievement I want to have. But I should put
Okay.
it on my goals list. But I'm trying to just go into 2021 like everybody else, healthy, safe, and able
Hmm.
to do the things that I want to do. And that's what
Hmm.
I'm trying to achieve with that. And so I'm
And yeah,
hope.
and I think that healthy is a really good one. I most recently had a friendsgiving with my friends, and I was talking about like being very thankful for health. And when I say health, I'm not just talking about like physical health, like emotional, a wellness, um, and mental stability. Right? Those are some things that I think that we take for granted in our community. So just being able to experience ease and peace and serenity, that's my jam. That's where I want to stay at, like good health, good mental health, being clear, not being any type of confusion or mess. So yeah, I'm looking forward to 2021.
Yeah, I don't. I'm all about being positive. I'm not letting anyone ruin my vibe, my space, my peace, my my healthiness, like you said. Because when I wake up, I'm literally doing everything I want to do that day. I'm not being forced to do anything. I'm not going somewhere I don't want to go. So I'm not letting no one get in front of my peace or my happiness. No one. Like I will ignore my own mother if it means keeping my sanity and my
Oh yeah,
peace.
I
Like
feel you.
um I tell people all the time, like, why are you enduring something that you don't want to do and then you're unhappy? Like, I listen to you on the phone because I'm your friend, but shoot, that can't be me. I'm 36 now. I'm not trying to be unhappy. Like, there's no way
Right,
I'm going to be unhappy every day
right, right,
and making that stink face and then going to work and not speaking to people because I'm unhappy about our job. So
right.
I'm 100% with you there. My safe space, and I tell people all the time, if you don't got nobody to talk to, go get a therapist. I got one that works out. Go get you one. Go get you one ASAP.
I respect that. I
Yeah.
respect that.
So I didn't mention this earlier, but this is going to be my first holiday episode, my Christmas episode. So what do
Okay.
you have planned family wise for Christmas?
I'm spending Christmas in Mexico with my immediate family. My mom, my dad's transitioned, my mom, my siblings, and my nieces and nephews. So I'll be spending Christmas in Mexico with them.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, make sure you give me a shirt. I wear large or extra large,
Got you
whatever you
covered.
fan. All right, right. So, have y'all? Is that something y'all do all the time? Like take family trips on holidays?
No, it's actually a new tradition. My dad kind of really set the tone for holidays all of my life. So just kind of trying to stand in the gap in his absence. I'm just looking for new ways to celebrate with the family. And this will be our first family vacation for holidays, but I hope it's not. But yeah, so excited, looking forward to it, ready for the sun.
Yeah, my mother's side of the family does that. So shoot, they go to Florida, but they're not doing anything this year. I never go. I'm like, man, I'm not about to go to Florida because I can't take my kids with me. So I always try to make sure I'm here. But next year, I'm not doing that. I'm going to be mindful of just go. Like if someone invites me to go somewhere and I can go and I can afford it, I'm gone. I'm out of
Yeah,
here. Like I sit back and think too much about not doing something. No, I'm just going to start doing things. Yeah, maybe I need to be footloose. Maybe I need to be footloose because I'm tired of missing out. I'm tired of people. Like I told you this before. I've never been on the West Coast of the United States, and I have no reason why I have never been on the West Coast. Like I used to have
well, it's not going anywhere. You have time.
plenty of time. Like I have a fear of being on a plane longer than 2 or 3 hours because my legs will start hurting. But then I realize I can sit in the aisle, not the aisle seat, but what's
Yeah,
the
with the
emergency, the
exit.
emergency, no, the
Yeah,
emergency exit. I was like, I
yeah.
never thought of that. So that kills that idea. But yeah, that's gonna be my 2021. I'm just gonna be out here. I'm gonna be going places. I'm gonna make you go places with me. I'm gonna try to tag along in some of the places with you.
All right. Bet.
Yeah, have a great time in Mexico.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I hope it's just everything you can imagine. I look forward to seeing the pictures of you with your 13 different bathing suits on at a beach or something. How many you got? How many bathing suits you packing?
I don't know. You know what? I don't know, but I certainly will be nursing some sort of frozen adult beverage and basking
Hmm.
in the sun. So
Yes.
I have no plans. Usually, if I go on a vacation, I do 100 excursions. Like I've purchased two books. I have no plans um, of really doing anything besides resting and just taking in the sun and just being very cognizant of, you know, how I feel and doing some breath work and relaxing and meditating. That's the only thing that I want to do.
I got some books for you to read. Let me see what I got. I got some books for you to read. I don't know if you into these type of like poetry types of books and things like that, but I got some you can read. So if you need some extra material, come holla at me.
Um, Milk and Honey, it's
Right.
breaking up. Milk and Honey, I've read a few times. The other ones, not so much, but I'm open. But no, I have a reading list. Like I have about 10 books that I need to still get through before I incorporate or add any more. But I'm taking two books with me just in case, just in case I get through them. But we'll see.
Yeah, I'm done reading books for the year. I just finished Bobby Womack's book, and I'm like, I can't read no more books. That book was enough for me.
How was that book?
That book was great. That's probably the
How was
greatest
that?
book I ever read in my life, based on someone's life.
Seriously?
For,
I'm about to make note of that.
first and first,
Bobby Womack?
I didn't know he was from Cleveland, Ohio. So that was
Yes, yes,
interesting. And then just to read about his
yes.
life, and then I finally got to see from his point of view and her point of view what really happened with Sam Cooke. That was interesting to finally read because we only know what they always said about it in public, but that was so good to read. And then how he just sold his rights away because he just needed the money, and his manager at the time told him, no, don't sell your rights away, and he died broke and stuff like that. So yeah, that was.
Yeah. So he had slept with Sam Cooke's daughter and wife, right?
Yeah, so he didn't he didn't seek out to sleep with Sam Cooke's wife. What happened was him and Sam Cooke were like this. And so while Sam Cooke was
Yeah,
married,
I know.
Sam Cooke told his wife everything about how if he didn't have a suit, he would give him a suit. Or if he didn't have enough money or he couldn't get somewhere, he would find a way to get him so. So when he died, his wife kind of tried to do the same thing for him, but they end up spending so much time together, they started dating. But this was like months after Sam died. And so, once you just around a person for a period of time, you start dating, back in those days, there wasn't no, I can't do this to my dead friend. It's like, well, Sam would probably want her to be happy with me because I was close to him. Like that was his mindset. Like, well, since we're dating, me and Sam were already like brothers. I think he would appreciate me being the one being with his wife. And then
Oh,
once they started, having dissension in their marriage and whatnot, and he ended up sleeping with the daughter. That was hard to read because the way he explained it, the daughter came on to him. He was like, "No, I don't want to do it," and then he gave in. I'm like, "See, I just, me, I'm grown. Like, you can't maybe do something I want to do." But that's the way he explained it in the book. She came on to him because they were fighting a lot, and she was like, "I'm in love with you. You should be with me." And he started sleeping with her. I'm like, "This is rough." And she shot him for that. She shot him for that.
the mother or the
The
daughter?
mother shot him for that because she found him in bed with her. And it was almost similar to the Richard Pryor story. He said he caught on fire and he ran all the way down the driveway. That's what happened with Sam Cooke. She shot him in the garage and he ran all the way down the driveway to the guard gate, and the police came. Like, I'm like, that was crazy. It's a really good book.
Wow.
And he knew all
Wow.
of
I'll
these
check it
people.
out.
Yeah, yeah, it's very good. But I would just like to tell you thank you for coming on to do this because I always try to talk to you or spend time with you. So I'm glad we were able to do this. I
Yeah.
would definitely put your IG up for your Casement Studio, and I'm so happy that you allow me to get to know you and just be around you when we can be around you because you are a great individual and I love the vibes that you give off.
Thank you.
And you owe me about 10 cupcakes
Oh, thank you so much.
and 17 hugs. So, 2021, I'm
Got you
coming to
covered.
collect. But enjoy time with
Got you covered.
enjoy time with your family. I don't know the next time we
Okay.
see each other, but when we do, I'm pretty sure it'll be a good time. And I just want to tell you thank you.
Indeed. All righty. Thank you in advance. And I just wish you the best holiday season, the best year. I'm just truly wishing you the I hope 2020 is the best year of your life, you know.
All right.
Like truly like wishing you the best year of your life. So lots of peace, lots of health, abundance and all that jazz. And if there's anything that I can do for you, please don't hesitate to Zoom me, call me, text me, tweet me. I'm always here. All right.
All right. I appreciate it. And like I tell everybody before we end this, eat more chicken.
Peace.
That's it.
Bye.
Bye.